George of the jungle, strong as he can be.
Okay, we're going to do part one of a four-part series here about no down payment loans. So thanks for coming into thecreditjungle.com. My name is George Anderson, and we're just going to kind of give a basic overview here in general about no down payment loans, and then we're going to get into the four most popular types of no down payment options available to homeowners. Now, the first thing that you need to understand, okay, is that there's trade-offs between having a down payment and not having a down payment. The main thing is that people need to know, and that oftentimes they're disappointed or they find out, oh my gosh, okay, well this is great, I don't need any money down, but what's my house payment going to be? Well, just think about it logically. If you have even a little bit of money down, you're always going to have a lower house payment than somebody who has no money down. So you're never going to get both. You're not going to get this, the great house with the great interest rate and all the great terms and everything else, and have your payment be cheaper than somebody else who bought the house next door and they had even 3% or 5% down. So that's the first thing to know. And for some people, they just don't have one. But I also worry about people getting into their first home if they actually have no money at all. Because I'll guarantee you, within the first 6 weeks of moving into a home, if you have not been a homeowner before, be prepared, because you're going to spend $2,000 to $3,000 to $4,000 between Home Depot and Bed Bath & Beyond. Okay, just a fact of life. But anyway, so the first no down payment loan that I want to discuss is a VA loan. Now, the thing about VA loans is that you have to be an eligible veteran, and that can be in any branch of the service. Okay, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, National Reserves, or Reservist, National Guard, and then probably even Space Force, because that's a fairly new branch of the military that's available. So, and then I've got a previous video where we talked about how a spouse of a veteran who passed away in a service-connected death. We have a lot of the Vietnam era veterans who are being diagnosed with cancer, and they're dying, and they're finding out that it's connected to exposure of Agent Orange. So there's a lot of widows out there who would be eligible, but then we also have, from 1990, Gulf War onto there, we've got a lot more veterans and PTSD and some other things that, if there was suicide or something like that. So there's a lot more people eligible for VA loans than they would think that they are. So just in general, again, on no down payment loans, there's always going to be some sort of a restriction on who is eligible, like a VA loan. There's going to be a geographic limitation, and we'll talk about that when we talk about USDA loans. Same thing with income caps, debt ratios that are going to be a little bit tighter, and sometimes credit score requirements that are also a little higher. So when you start getting in here, you start losing some of that flexibility that you would normally have versus somebody who has 5% down or 3.5% down on an FHA loan. They just don't have those restrictions on them. So I just want to be upfront and honest, that there are trade-offs on this. Now, of all of the down payment loans that are available out there, a VA loan is by far the best one because there is an upfront funding fee. And I'm going to put up the VA funding fee chart so that you can see what those costs are. And it's a different cost for somebody who has first-time use and somebody who has a subsequent use. In other words, they did a VA loan one time, sold that home, and now they're getting another VA loan. Well, for every subsequent use of your VA eligibility, you pay a higher funding fee. And there's a proposal in there right now by the FHFA to increase it again after it was increased in the beginning of 2020. So there's some interesting things going on with VA right now, basically making it a little bit more expensive. But there is no monthly mortgage insurance payment with a VA loan. You have the upfront fee and that's it. And if a veteran is refinancing a VA loan, there is a reduced funding fee that's only 0.5% if you're refinancing an existing VA loan. And then somebody who is disabled and has a service-connected disability instead of a service-connected death, like we talked about with the surviving spouse thing, a veteran who has even a partial disability that is a service-connected disability does not pay a funding fee at all. So there's some great things. There's no income limits on VA, and pretty much whatever the veteran can qualify for, Some of these programs have purchase price or loan amount limits on them. The VA does not have one. So if you're an eligible veteran and otherwise have average credit, you don't need a down payment, you've got good income, you can go geographically anywhere you want. You can go to whatever loan amount that you qualify for, and that is an awesome thing for our veterans, and they deserve it. I've got a son. One of my sons has got about just a little over a year left from his separation date from the Army, and he's already making plans on being able to purchase a duplex that he can do that as a veteran, as an owner-occupied transaction. So he's already looking into doing that and asking me questions like, where should I buy and all this other stuff, because what a great benefit it is, and our veterans deserve that. So thanks for coming into thecreditjungle.com. This is George Anderson. Push button, get mortgage professional, and I'd love to talk with you about your situation. Have a great day.